what's up everybody? So today I'm going to be reviewing an excellent microphone for recording trumpet, and it's actually my weapon of choice these days for recording on my projects. It is the AKG C414 XLII. And speaking of my projects, if you'd like to learn how to make multi-track recordings and videos like mine, get started with my free multi-track guide, link in description. And also, if you're new here, please make sure to hit that big red subscriber button because I make new videos every single week. Also, hit that like button or I will be very upset. So during this video, I'm going to talk about all the amazing features and specs that comes with this microphone, and I'm going to do some playing demonstrations on trumpet so that you can hear exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is the AKG C414 XLII. Just look at this beauty. So this also happens to be one of the microphones that PewDiePie uses. And trust me, I'm not going to make a clickbaity title and an obnoxious thumbnail and use PewDiePie's name just to get more views, right? I'm not that pathetic, right? Anyway, mic review. So let's first talk about what comes with the mic. So this microphone runs at around $1,100 at the time I'm reviewing this. So this is the box that it comes in. Very protective, very badass looking, and you can keep it with you for safe carrying around your expensive gear in case you ever need to move the microphone to and from your studio. Well, first comes the microphone itself. Duh. It also comes with a nice little dust cover for storage. The microphone also comes with a pop filter, which happens to be a really good pop filter, and it gets rid of all the persistent poppy plosives. See, with the pop filter, you don't hear any of those persistent plosives. Now, pop filters aren't just used for recording vocals. Instruments can also create pops in the recordings and those kinds of effects, even if you don't realize it. So throwing in that pop filter will help eliminate all of that. Also, there's a windscreen, which eliminates wind and air from getting in the way of your recordings. It protects your recordings from that kind of feedback, and the manufacturers of this mic actually recommend having it on for recording trumpet because, well, it's a wind instrument. You don't want the wind that comes out of your bell to be picked up. You just want that beautiful sound of your trumpet to be heard in the mix. Next, it comes with a shock mount for your microphone. This is designed so it grips your microphone firmly enough so it doesn't fall down, but not too tightly where the microphone can't vibrate, because just like musical instruments, sound is produced through vibration. Also, it keeps the microphone nice and sturdy, so if I banged on the table or I bumped into my microphone stand, it keeps the mic nice and sturdy. It's not gonna wobble around and create noise. It also comes with a 5/8 to 3/8 microphone stand adapter so that you can screw the mount onto your microphone stand. Next comes a guide that has all of the data and specs specific to your microphone. Just like how playing a trumpet, for example, works, I could be playing two different trumpets of the same model, for example, two Balk Strat 37s. But they play differently, even if it's only a slight microscopic difference, because still, every trumpet is different. Well, the same is true for microphones. Identical models can still have slight differences between two different serial numbers. But the nice thing about this is that they factory test every single microphone and provide you with a guide to let you know the specifics about the microphone with your specific serial number. Now let's talk about the specs on the actual microphone. It's pretty well put together, nice and sturdy, nice and durable. It's got two sides, and the golden side is the side that you want to record into. This microphone doesn't come with one, but 9 different polar pattern options. If you don't know what that means, a polar pattern refers to the sensitivity of the microphone to sound arriving at different angles to its central axis. So meaning if I were to play into the microphone at an angle, the polar pattern determines how the microphone is going to react to that. The polar patterns that come with the AKG C414 are cardioid, wide cardioid, omni, figure of 8, and hypercardioid. But Matt, you said there's only 9 polar patterns, dum-dum. You just listed 5. Well, the AKG C414 also has in-between options for a total of 9 polar patterns. And now for the rear end of the mic, you'll see a 4-position pad switch with the options 0 decibels, -6 decibels, -12 decibels, and -18 decibels. And it's simply just another way to control the gain. And with recording trumpet, this is kind of really important since the trumpet is quite a loud and harsh instrument, relatively speaking. I usually keep mine at the -12 decibel option. On the same side of the mic, you'll see a 4-position frequency roll-off switch with the options 0 Hz, 40 Hz, 80 Hz, and 160 Hz. And this will act as an initial high-pass filter. But if you're not sure which option to use, you can always leave it at 0 and add a high-pass filter later in the DAW when you just adjust your EQ. Now about the specs of the mic, I did talk about the 9 different polar patterns already. It's got a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, which is a very, very wide range. But again, check the frequency response graph to see the specs of your specific mic with your specific serial number. It has a sensitivity of around -33 decibels, an impedance of less than 200 ohms, an EIN of 6 dBA. It also has a dynamic range of 134 decibels, which is excellent, especially for recording brass. It has an SPL of 158 decibels, which is extremely high, like legendary. Alright, so here's the fun part, the play test, yay! So before we begin, I highly recommend listening with a good pair of headphones or studio monitors, so you can hear the very slight differences that I'm going to show you. Some of the differences are going to be really, really subtle, so you're going to want a good pair of headphones or studio monitors so you can actually hear and gain the most value from this demonstration. Also, I'm not going to be adding any post-production. It's just going to be raw sound, and my interface of choice is the Scarlett Focusrite 2i2, very standard. And make sure you leave a comment down below with your thoughts and opinions about what you're hearing, because I really want to know what you think. And also, your opinions can help other people make decisions. Alright, now I'd like to play into the microphone and demonstrate how the trumpet sounds at each of the 9 polar pattern options. Alright, now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to rotate the microphone as I'm playing so that you can hear how the sound of the trumpet changes depending on what angle I'm playing from. Alright, now I'm going to test the proximity effect, which is going to demonstrate how the trumpet sound changes depending on how far away my bell is from the mic. Alright, now I'm going to test the different high-pass filters so you can hear the difference between those different settings. Alright, Alright, now I'm going to experiment with the windscreen and the pop filter. I'm going to record without any of it. I'm going to record just the pop filter, just the windscreen, and a combination of both, so that you can hear the difference in the sound. Now the AKG C414 is also very versatile. For example, it makes an excellent room mic. Now the room I'm in is just a small apartment, the floors are tiled, and it's not perfectly acoustically treated. Let me just do a quick clap test to give you an idea. I mean, it's decent, but it's not perfect. But I hope this will give you a good enough demonstration anyway. So because I don't have two of these microphones, I'm gonna do the room mic test using a Shure SM57 as the mic that's right up to my bell, and I'm gonna put the AKG C414 a couple feet away from me so that it picks up the reverb and the reflections off the walls in the room. And if you're playing in a good enough space like a church, a concert hall, a big wide room with a high ceiling, you might not have to add artificial reverb to your mix. You can just use the reverb, the natural reverb from the space that you're in, using this strategy right here. Now for this test and this test only, I am actually going to turn up the gain on the AKG C414 just because it's farther away and it'll help pick up the reverb from the room. All the other tests that I did in this video, I left the gain alone. I didn't adjust anything at all. And now lastly, I just want to play a little bit on different horns just to give you an idea of how different variations of the trumpet sound with this microphone. So I'll be playing on C trumpet, flugelhorn, and piccolo trumpet. Alright, that's all I got for today. Hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it helpful. So what do you think? I want to know your opinions on this mic. Please leave a comment down below. And if there's any other equipment you'd like me to test out, please let me know. And if you're interested in this microphone, I'm leaving some links in the description so you can go check it out. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. Thanks so much to my Patreon donors for sponsoring these videos. And actually, shout out to my newest Patreon donor. I actually didn't talk in my last video, so here's your shout out. And if you want to get your own personal shout out and other awesome benefits, head on over to patreon.com/theprogtrumpet. And once again, I made a free multi-tracking guide, link in description, absolutely free. Alright, that's all I got. See you next week.